What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Second Floor Gardens. Today I'm going to be giving y'all a quick tour of the patio garden. I'm not going to be able to go super in depth on everything just because there's a spider that decided to build its web from the stand that I do all my propagation stuff on over to one of the persimmon trees, and it's like right in the doorway. And it's not like I'm scared of it or anything like that, but it's just we already have pests or some pests inside the garden, so I want to go ahead and make sure that he can do whatever he has to do to go ahead and help take care of the garden. So let's go ahead and show you what's going on. And there goes the culprit right there. Not sure y'all can see him. Oops, camera jumping around and everything, but oh well. There you go. That's something you ain't gotta pay attention. All right, so trying to make sure I stay out of his way. So starting right here, this right here, we have our Fuyu persimmon. That's a new one that I got this year. Just gonna zoom in on that. That's a new one that I got this year. You can see how it's doing. Now, I did have a little bit of issue with it. I had to end up repotting it. I ended up repotting it twice. And what I learned so far, persimmon trees don't like to be moved too much, so had a lot of dieback. The first time I repotted it, the leaves kind of wilted, but then they bounced back. The second time I did it, was like 2 days apart. Like the whole top started to die. I had branches coming out this way, branches coming out a little bit further. All those fell, but those leaves still stayed. They were wilted for quite some time, but they still stayed. And then over here, this next one right here, we have, this is my favorite right now. It's my Barbados cherry. Well, I don't want to say my favorite. It's the one that I'm most excited about right now. It's the Barbados cherry. The reason I'm excited about it is because of that right there. Like, they already came with flowers, already came with fruits, all that type of stuff. And it's supposed to be one of the, I want to say either one of the fruits or the fruit that has the highest amount of concentration of vitamin C. So pretty excited about that, and price tag is still on there, but yeah, it was worth it to me. Already having fruit and all those flowers that I'm talking about, to be honest, it had more flowers than this. It was just kind of hard getting it inside of a car to bring it home. Some of the flowers got knocked off, but I'm talking about flower. And then I had to spray because it had aphid, so even some of those flowers had fell off with the little mixture that I used. But all of those are the flowers, and then all of those are the flower buds. Same thing with those. And you can see one of the aphids is still there, so I got to spray again. But you got to be careful with that. I'm pretty sure y'all know. But that's the Barbados cherry. Here is my Florida King peach. Now, this one has some good bounce back. When I first got it, it did have, fruit buds on it. It was producing, the stuff that it had to produce. But then when I had repotted it, so I had crawfish one day, and I was like, I could take this, come to some of these crawfish cells and put them inside the soil. That'll add some fertilizer to it. It'll go ahead and get a little something, so it can go ahead and do what it has to do. I completely forgot that the crawfish had seasoning on it still. I didn't wash none of the seasoning off, so it had a whole bunch of salt on there. So as you know, salt and plants really don't mix that well. They can handle a little bit of magnesium, but they don't really do too well. Let's see what else. This right here, I think it's pronounced a Saijo persimmon or Saijo persimmon. I'm not too sure how it's pronounced, but that's what this is. So all of these aren't even 1 year, at least, well, they're older than 1 year, because of course they've grown this much, but I just got those three. This is my Saijo persimmon. I had everything here I've had for at least a year. Yeah, everything here is on the second year. Yeah, everything here is on the second year. So the Saijo persimmon, or Saijo, however you pronounce it, I'm not too sure. This one, I got that one off of Etsy. That one, there's a weird story behind that one. So I ended up getting it and it came in. It was doing exactly what it's doing right now. But before I got the shade cloth, this is what I'll be telling y'all about. Before the shade cloth that came up, they built those apartments there. And when the sun basically arcs over, this way at an angle, right? So it'll only start to get sunshine once it crosses that. So it arcs over this way, but as it's going throughout its day, it bounces off of those windows over there and it burns up everything that's down here. And I know that because I started seeing marks on all the plants and certain, formations and all that type of stuff. And then eventually I put a thermometer out here to kind of measure it. And one of the spots where it was burning at, insane. It broke my thermometer. So that's how I know that happens. But anyways, it had, excuse me, it had did something to this tree to where it burned up all the leaves. So everything died back, like I want to say like a month after the leaves had started growing. So I had to wait an entire year from like March, baby. I had to wait like an entire year of it just looking like a stick. I was still doing like a little scratch test to check to make sure it was still alive. It was still alive. But this first year of it actually going out and growing through. So we're good there. Now this right here, this Keisha. This is Keisha Mami White Kumquat tree. Y'all saw me, I think the first video I made, or one of the first videos that I made, she was featured in. That's my kumquat tree. That's my favorite tree. That's my favorite so far. I haven't gotten a chance to taste the Barbados yet, but the kumquat tree is my favorite tree so far. Then over here we have my Meyer lemon tree. And something weird is going on up here. Is for some reason we got some dieback right there. Kind of have to address that. I gotta see what's going on with it. I mean, we still got leaves down there. They're doing what they're doing. We gotta see what's going on because that's new. Normally that happens during the winter. So I gotta see what's going on with that. So yeah, gotta get that figured out. But the leaves and stuff are still there. And I think technically that's either on the grass line or below the grass line, so that might be a sucker, so I gotta take that off. So just be careful. Then this beauty right here, I really ain't got too much to say, but this is my olive tree. I got it just for the health purposes of what you can do with certain vegetables whenever you mix them, not vegetables, certain fruits whenever you mix them together. So I really don't know too much about them. But I have seen how they look when they get bigger. They look pretty epic when they get bigger. But I have no clue how to pronounce the name of that. Albert Queen, Albernique, I don't know. I don't know. But that's olive tree. I got that this year. This is my Valencia orange. Got that this year. This one is supposed to have, it's not doing the greatest, but I mean, it's still hanging in there. But that is supposed to have the highest juice content amongst oranges. This, which one is this? Is this the gold or the yellow? This is the gold. Okay, this is my LSU gold fig. Now, it's not doing the greatest. I'm not sure what's going on with the leaves on it. I got the gold and I have the purple. The purple's doing great. It's doing fine. It even has some growing down there. But for some reason, that doggone yellow its tips is getting burned. It was dropping leaves. I have no clue what's going on with it, but she's gonna be all right. And then here, leaves is coming out. Me and my wife like to feed the birds. Normally they come out at night, but they've been out during the day a lot more often, so that's good. And I think the spider just got him. Yep, spider didn't call him a body. Anyways, okay, where we're at. So LSU gold, LSU purple figs, those are good. Over here, These two are the newest additions. This is another one that I'm really excited about. This might, depending on how that Barbados Cherry goes, this might end up being my second favorite. This is the Moro Blood Orange. Can't see too much of it because my other Fuyu persimmon is in the way. And shout out to the girl that held me down at Round Rock Nursery. I can't see it from this. Oh, there it is. There we go. There we go. So shout out to the girl at Round Rock Gardens. I went up there to find the Fuyu persimmon because on their website, their website lets you know what they have in stock, what's new, and all that type of stuff. But they hadn't put this out yet, and so I went up there and I asked the girl, hey, I tried to look for the Fuyu persimmons, but you said y'all had on the website, but I couldn't find them. She's like, oh, well, that's because we hadn't put them out yet. So naturally didn't want to be that guy and be like, well, can you go look at it for me and all that type of stuff. But she was like, I can go take a look at it for you if you want. And I didn't even have to ask her, and she did. Came back and she handed me this one, and it had a fruit on it. It had a fruit. And so I was like, oh, so I know for a fact this one is going to be giving me fruit. So like with this one, I'm not sure if it's a male or female. You won't be able to tell until it starts producing flowers. Same thing with that other fruit. You won't be able to tell unless it starts producing flowers. But this one, I know for a fact is a female. So she said, well, we should go ahead and put them out tomorrow. So if you come back tomorrow, you'll be able to check everything else out yourself. So I was like, okay, cool. Came back the next day, was looking at them all. None of the other ones had fruits on them. So I was like, that's clutch. She held me down. She held me down. So shout out to her for that. But yeah, that's my Moro Blood Orange. That was doing fantastic. I got that one at the same time that I got, well, no, I got the Barbados Cherry first, and then I got the Moro Blood Orange. And like I said, my other food. So that's that. And then this is my little makeshift humidity dome that I got going on. And those are the lemon tree cuttings that we took from the Meyer lemon tree. This is the other Barbados cherry. Now, the funny part about the Barbados cherry, before I got the bigger one, I saw this one and I was like, I saw this one day at Lowe's and I was like, man, I don't like cherries. I really don't need them. I'm cool. I'm going to walk away from it. And the next day, I went home later on that day and I was watching one of Broke Farmer videos, and I think they had just got back from, I forgot what the event is called. It's the Soil something, but I forgot what the video was called. I mean, what the expo was called. But it's a whole bunch of black farmer, black YouTubers that garden, all that type of stuff. They all meet up and get together and all that type of stuff. And he had a Barbados cherry, and I believe he had said, I was like, man, let me look like this Barbados cherry. And I believe that's what he talked about, the whole vitamin C content of it. And I was like, oh, shout out to my man Peter Rabbit. Out here chilling with the life. All right, anyways, but yeah, Broke Farmer was talking about how he picked up, Barbados cherry and everything else, and he had showed the tag of it. And I saw the tag and I was like, oh wait, this is the joint that I had saw the other day. I've seen it before. I should have went ahead and picked it up. So went to Lowe's, scoured through some of those, and found that Barbados cherry. So I stuck with that. Let's see here. All of these. Here's my little seed starting tray. These are seeds that I started of passion fruit. So all these are passion fruit seedlings. Then that's a Moro Blood Orange seedling. That's a Moro Blood Orange seedling. And here I have that. All of those are the kumquat seedlings that I harvested from Keisha, her first year here. So it's a bunch of stuff going on. I told myself this is gonna be a short video, but I'm coming up on 15 minutes. I got two more things to show you. There's a whole bunch of cuttings right here and underneath there. But up here, I'm not sure if y'all can see it, but that's a lime tree that I picked up during the very, very, very beginning of the season. Like, it was still cold, but I picked that up. but did some experiments with it, and that's the lone survivor, so it's standing. And then this is one of the blueberry plants that we got. I can't remember. I think it's either the Premier or the Climax. It should be one of those two. No. I'm tripping. It's right there. Tiff Blue. So that's a Tiff Blue blueberry. That's the last one we got left. Everything else pretty much died because I got too much going on. I had them sitting all out front because, like I just finished saying, we really don't get sunlight like that. We do, but we don't. And I couldn't really reach over everything to water them how they need to be watered. So those died off. But the Tiff kind of sort of stayed around. She's still kind of being a little bit iffy, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, those are some of the cuttings that I had back there from the first lemon tree video that I made to show you the cuttings. Some of them failed, some didn't. I got some there, I got some up there, I got some this way. Oh, I'm tripping. This is one of the that's a Summer Flame peach, one of the peaches that we got from Fredericksburg. Saved the seed for it and started growing it. It was getting attacked by aphids, but we dealt with that. So yeah, that's everything. So Fuyu Persimmon, Barbados Cherry, Florida King Peach. Then we have a Sajo Persimmon, Miwa Kumquat, a Meyer Lemon, Albertine, or however you pronounce that, Olive, Valencia Orange, LSU Gold Fig, LSU Purple Fig, Moral Blood Orange, another Fuyu Persimmon. Then we have Passion Fruit Seedlings, Moral Blood Orange Seedling, Moral Blood Orange Seedling, Meyer Lemon Cuttings, Summer Flame Peach, another Barbados Cherry, and then cuttings and all types of experiments, and blueberry lime. So yeah, that's it. I'll let y'all later. Peace. And I forgot to mention my basil. Got 2 basil plants, the Genovese basil or Genovese basil, whatever. Then I have this bay leaf plant, and I have another bay leaf plant that's over there. I've had these for about 2 weeks. They're in isolation right now, so I can go ahead and start putting them outside this weekend. That's the plan. Whenever you do get a new plant from a nursery, you want to make sure that you give them some time to go ahead and be isolated from the rest of your plants, just in case they have some type of disease or some type of pest or anything like that. You don't want that to spread to the rest of your garden. So you isolate them for about a week or 2, and then you go ahead, and if you don't see any issues, then you go ahead and put them out. So they're finishing up their 2 weeks, so they're about to get put outside.